What's going on, guys? So, what we're going to talk about is this risk on market that we have going on so far. Like, because for the day, we can see that equities actually push higher for the session. Also, the European markets, right? If you're trading the German 30, there's reasons why that has also been pushing bullish after the holiday. So, as you can just see here, last Friday, everything got started when Trump threatened to impose 50% tariffs on the EU, right? So I personally felt, and most likely markets started to understand it, it was more of a escalation tactic, right? Just to get the ball rolling. It was just threatening, right? Just like, hey, like you guys are taking long. I'm gonna impose tariffs on June 1st, right? Was he really gonna do it? Who knows, obviously. But that actually got the ball rolling, right? Because before on Sunday, this is where the administration from Europe came in and told Trump if he was willing to push the tariffs back to the ninth, right? That the EU is going to now start escalating talks, trying to work on a deal when it comes to tariffs, right? So obviously, when that happened, I'm going to show you guys the equity markets right now. This is why you look to the right, you can see that the German markets actually rise pretty drastically, but you could just see this big dump to the downside. This is what happened Friday. So this was like a clear opportunity. And then once we saw that recovery came in, those positive headlines, we could see that German 30 actually rose. And what this does, it gives us de-escalations, right? So de-escalations, we know that when it comes to tariffs, de-escalations, we understand that is positive for the stock market. So that is the current, pretty much that is like the current headline that is impacting the market so far as of today, right? Moving forward until we see something different. This is why we see NASDAQ pushing higher for the session as well, just to get us, just to get everybody up to speed with what's going on, right? So understanding that. This is what helps us with a bias moving forward for the session. This is why these understanding like news headlines, everything that is coming out so far, you just have to be updated with it so you could just get an idea of what's important. Because you can see right here where it says EU plans to fast track trade talks with the US, right? If this is coming out, right, this will be the next market mover if they actually make a deal. But this is optimistic. So trade talks, when it comes to gold, when it's positive, right? This is why we see gold flushing to the downside, because it's no reason for investors to buy into gold as a safe haven if we see de-escalations, right? So even though that everything is still up in the air and nothing has been proven yet, this is just the current sentiment that is driving the markets pretty much for the day. Now, what we're paying attention to, so another reason for equities to push higher, just want you guys to see this. We had consumer confidence in the bottom, which came out at a 98, pretty much really above the high. The high was a 92. So this surprise higher. It's just giving us additional reasons for equities to push up, right? So this is why over the live call that I had with my trading community, you could just see here, just the green arrows, positive data should support a stronger dollar, should support stronger equities. And as you could just see, you could just look to the right as we broke above structure, equities continue to push higher. We could see that US 30 broke above that zone. You see right when it broke above that high, that would have been a good entry just to push at to that next area of resistance, right? So everything followed plan. Even looking at the dollar, we can see that the dollar also gained strength as well, pushing up, which did get some downside for GU, EU as well. So this is stuff that we pay attention to moving forward, right? So what I feel that is going to be next is what is going to be the next opportunity? Like what is going to be the next major headline when it comes to tariffs? If we see that EU starts negotiating a deal, we actually see that they're talking, a deal is being made. That should continue to bring optimism to the markets. But I feel definitely the best opportunity is if there's no deal, right? Because everything is just going to tumble. We're going to be able to take good opportunities for NASDAQ. We're going to see gold rise, which is going to be really good opportunities. Okay, guys? So that's what we're going to want to pay attention to moving forward for the markets. All right. So what we're going to also pay attention to later on, right? Just watch these headlines. Whenever Trump comes out, we know that he's going to talk about Russia, Ukraine. He's not liking the situation that's going on with Russia. So if we understand that is the current sentiment right now, if we see that he comes out and says something positive with Putin, that he is, look, Putin now is being serious about ending the war, that will give more optimism to the markets. That's where we're going to see equities rise again. We're going to see that we're going to see gold push lower. But if things continue to escalate, I really don't think the markets is going to care unless we have the U.S. put boots in the ground and the U.S. actually shows initiative to actually fight that war, right? So other than that, guys, I feel like this is the best opportunity is just focus on what's going on with Europe, right? Like if these things continue to show more optimism, right? The moves already happened if you're paying attention to Euro JPY, but just look at the sell that happened when the news came out, right? This was, you could already tell this was that Friday. You could just see how it just spiked to the downside, right? And then now you could just move forward. You could just see once we start again those positive talks again, we could just see this pair push up higher. That's one of the things I want you to pay attention to, because the yen is also a good pair to trade against when we have a risk on or risk off market. So most likely, if we see tensions with the EU and the US begin to de-escalate, right? Especially for this week. Like, I'm not certain. I don't really think today we're gonna get anything for today. I don't. I really personally don't think that we're gonna see anything positive today. But the way the markets is reacting so far, right? If we do see more optimism, definitely looking at Euro JPY breaking above 163.900 would be a good opportunity for more upside as that optimism take place, right? Or if we get a pullback, right, we could get another leg lower. And once we can start identifying an area of support, we can see some more upside coming in place as the yen will get weaker with a stronger euro currency. If things don't escalate, we see that. I mean, if we see things don't get better and we see more market fear come in place, I would personally, like, as an example, if we had a headline that came out right now, negative news, right, between the US and Europe, they couldn't find a good deal, right? Breaking support, that's your entry as we start breaking a key area of support. That's like a good example. If it comes in, you know that euro is going to get weaker. You know that the yen is going to get stronger because the yen is a safe haven. So I would look for those opportunities. But if you like the European markets, like the German 30, you could take advantage of that as a sell. But technically, for me, if we get more escalations, I would want to see if price could break below 163.0. Technically, that would be an opportunity to be looking for some more downside, but with reasons. If we see that the trade wars is not going well, right? But most likely, if we're continuing this bullish trend, we have to wait to see if we could get a correction first and then an opportunity for upside if we get news, or if we're going to get a pullback and then look for an area of support and then see if we get an opportunity for the upside with news. Okay, guys. So that's what you're going to focus on for this week. Focus on European news with the US, right? Those trade talks is going to be extremely key for the markets. And let's see what goes on with Russia and Ukraine. All right, guys, have a good one. Hopefully this was helpful. If you guys have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out. If you guys are interested in joining my private group community, press the link in my bio or message me on IG. All right, guys, have a good one. See you guys later. Let's make some money.